Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back. In the last class, we treated indices and we'll still be talking about it because we are not done with the explanation of the laws. So now look at this. In the last class, we treated these four, the first four laws in our part one, and today we'll be talking about this. So now let's take the negative indices first before we talk about the fractional indices. Now the negative indices, for example, let's say we have x raised to the power minus a. This is a typical example for explaining negative indices. Now look at this, you can see that the negative sign is involved here. To remove this negative, it will be 1 over the positive value of that same thing. Look at this. Now, for example, if you have 9 raised to the power minus 1, this will be 1 over 9 raised to the power 1. Although we know 9 raised to the power 1 still remains 9. Now, for example, what if we say 2 raised to the power minus 5? This will be 1 over what? Over 2 raised to the power 5. That is the positive value of this same thing. Now, this was 1 over 82. Now, the reason why we are saying 1 over this is because to remove this negative value. If you look at it very well, you observe that when we wrote 1 over 2 raised to the power 5, you can see that the negative value is no more there. So that's the beauty of saying 1 over the positive value of that thing. Now, for example, let's say we have 1 over 3 raised to the power 2. What would this be? This will be 3 raised to the power minus 2. You understand? You know, this is if you have a question like this, it's like this, and if you have a question like this, it's like this. So whichever way you do it, you're correct. Now, let's talk about the fractional indices. In these fractional indices, I want you guys to know one thing. We have x raised to the power 1 over a. You can see this 1 over a is a fraction. Now, look at this. This will be square root of the x is here, fine. Now this 2 is going this side. This a is going this side, sorry. And this one remains here. Or for example, you have x raised to the power a over b. Now look at this. This will be square root of what? X. The b, which is the denominator, is going to this side, which is here, and the a remains what? Remains here. So this is an explanation of fractional indices. Now for instance, what if they say we should solve this kind of a question? 81 raised to the power minus 3 over 4. Look at this. You can see that this is having a negative value. Now with this negative value, we can't solve this problem. Now what do we need to do? We need to remove this what? This negative value. So how do we remove it? I told you before that it will be 1 over 16 over 81 raised to the power 3 over 4. You see? Now this will be 1 over 1 times, making it, this is a division sign. So for you to make it multiplication, it will be 81 over 16, which means this one is coming up and this one is going what? This one is going there. So this to be raised to the power 3 over 4. Now, 1 times 81 will give you what? 81, 16, raised to the power 3 over 4. So look at this. We have 81 raised over 16 raised to the power 3 over 4. Now you can see that with this, we've removed this what? Negative value. So now we can solve our question. Now I told you that this denominator will come here and you have your 81 over 16 here and the 3 remains what? Remains here. Now this means that what can you multiply 4 times to get 81? What's that? It's 3. For instance, you say 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 gives you what? 81. So it means this will be 3 over, what can you multiply 4 times to give you 16? It is 2 raised to the power 3. Do you guys understand? So this will be 3. This means 3 times 3 times 3 divided by 2 times 2 times 2, which will be 3 times 3 times 3 gives you what? It gives you 27. This gives you what? This gives you 8. Hope you guys understand. Now, to save you guys from all this stress, looking at this question, to save you guys from all this stress, you can just say For this negative value to be out of it, then the 81 will go up and the 16 will come down. So automatically you've removed the negative value. So whichever way you do it, you are correct. Now, looking at this, let me explain another question concerning fractional indices. For example, what if they give us something like this: 2 raised to the power 1/4, 1/2. So how do we do this? You know, this 2 raised to the power 1/4 is still saying 2 times 4, 8 plus 1, which is what? 9/4. So this is what? 2 times 1, 2 plus 1. 3 over what? 3/2. So this will be, this 2 is coming here. 9/4. Then the 3 remains here. Now what does this mean? This means that what can you multiply 2 times to get what? To get 9. And the answer is what? 3, which is 3 times 3 is what? 9. Now what can you multiply 2 times to get 4? It's what? 2, which is 2 times 2, 4. So raised to power what? 3, which is 3 raised to power 3 remains what? 27. And this remains what? 8. So thank you guys for watching.